Everybody, welcome to my shop. Today I am going to be making an adapter plate for my vise to mount on my fixture table. I've thought about this for quite a while, and when I was at my steel supplier here locally looking through their drops, I came across a solution. I was originally intending to use a steel plate with some square tubing welded around the perimeter on one side that I could bolt through the plate for the vise, and then bolt through the square tubing for the holes on the fixture table. But I found a piece of plate. Let me get the camera here so you can see it. Yeah, so this plate, I found this at my my local steel supplier, and let me see if I've got a tape measure here. I think it's 1/2 inch thick. Actually, it's 3/4. So 3/4 inch thick. So in this case, I am not going to use the square tubing. I'm just going to drill the holes for the vise and tap them, and then drill the holes through this to bolt it down to the fixture table. But first I'm going to cut it to size. It's much bigger than it needs to be right now, and I think that's going to be a challenge given the how thick it is. Hopefully it's not incredibly hard. Yeah, I think after that I'm considering putting it in the on the mill just to clean up the edges and make them nice and crisp. But anyway, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to measure and see how big this actually needs to be. Alright, so here's my fixture table. It has the holes 2 inch on center, which luckily being Chinese made, they actually did make them 2 inches on center, and they are 5/8 diameter holes, or 16 millimeters, so that happens to be the same. So here's the vise. Get this over here a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So when this is bolted down, alright, yeah, right there, yeah. So when this is bolted down to the plate, looks like I'm going to need to go to this group of holes here, which means I want my plate to be 10 by 10. And it's currently 12 by 12, so that's good. That won't take too much to chop that off. That's not a bad edge. And the other 3 edges are all factory. So I'm going to cut I hate to do this. Alright, let me think about what I'm going to do and I'll come back. Alright, I've got the plate mounted on the fixture plate on the mill. Got everything set up, and I've got the one edge that was cut when I got it, and I'm just going to use that as the first straight part, and basically square up the four sides. There's about an inch that can come off of either side, but I want to mill down some of that because it kind of tapers on the ends, and I want it square. So, alright, let's get some coolant going. I've got a carbide end mill in there. Hopefully that holds up. Okay, that edge looks pretty good. So now I need to measure and then cut off a big chunk of it with the bandsaw. Alright, I'm going to go cut this off with the bandsaw, and then we'll put it back on the mill. Alright, we're on the last side, and it's pretty uneven. My bandsaw cuts were not great. So yeah, we'll clean this side up, get it down to 10 inches, and then we're ready to start drilling. I think we're about ready to start drilling operations. If you saw one of my last videos, my drilled press should finally be ready to actually tackle something like this. It's not going to fall over on me. Hopefully this will be a test. See if it falls over on me. If so, I didn't do too well. Alright, I'm going to deburr this and then I will come back. Alright, the plate is cut to size. That's about how it'll sit. Should have each of the holes for mounting it should be an inch in from each end. And then this will sit something like that. Yeah, I think that'll work out well. I've seen some guys on YouTube did the hitch receiver. One guy I saw cut a hole through his table and welded a hitch receiver coming up through it, and then mounted his vise on the other part so it slid down in there. I have, there's a company that makes hitch receiver. I don't know if you can see it over there. You can't see it. There's a company that makes hitch receiver vise adapters. One thing I like about theirs is that the support, that the insert that the vise is attached to on the plate is round, so you can spin the vise. Mine is not. I did this years ago, before I started my YouTube channel, so it's probably been 7 years, 8 years or so when I did this. So should have marketed the idea, I guess, huh? Because they started selling them. But I solved that problem with getting a vise that tilts itself. I originally had that red vise mounted to this, but I wanted one that tilted like this. So I got the blue vise, and the red vise is going to be mounted on that plate and used on the fixture table or wherever else I want it. I've cut off a piece of hex bar stock to make the custom bolts that I'm going to use to mount the plate to the fixture table, and I'm going to make those bolts now. Alright, now I'm going to just break those edges. Now flip it around, and I'm going to drill a center, and I'm going to use a live center on this because I'm only going to have, when I'm doing the final machining operations, I'm only going to have a little bit sticking out of the vise. So I'm going to start by cleaning it up. Let's do one pass here to get this cleaned up, measure the length, turn it down to length, and then drill it for center. A little more. Okay, let's see what the length on that is. Okay, it is 2.043, and I need, so I've got that set in the DRO, and I need to turn it down to 1.950. I see what's sure he must have himself. Good chips. Nice working. Guessing back 450 always good. A little bit of my favorite green goop on here. .620. Okay. Let's see what that is. .9845. Alright, I'm going to go check the fit of this in the fixture table, make sure it fits okay, and then we'll finish up the rest of the operations here. Alright, that looks good. Now, I'm just going to chuck this up, get the center back on it. And I'm going to just break the this edge and this edge. lot of machine off. I put down the threads, but it is what it is. Care shots all good here. Yeah. Okie dokie. Now I need to turn this part down 1/2 inch in. I got to go look at the dimension I got to take it to, but it needs a 12 millimeter by 1.75 thread. So, like I said, a lot of that, I'm not going to be able to use that cutter. Alright, let's see, I need to get this out of the way. That zeroed. 0.4575, but we're going to take it down to 0.45, I think. Give ourselves, make it the threading easier. Alright, I think this should be the last machining operation. I don't know if it was the steel, the quality of the steel, or the size that I turned it down to, but that was much, and of course I've got a hex holding it in the chuck, so it's not spinning in that, but that was actually much easier to thread than the other things that I've been doing. Turn this die around so I can get all the way up to the shoulder, and then just a little bit of cleanup on this, and this bolt is done. I was going to go buy some bolts. Of course they don't make them like this, so it would have just been a 5/8 inch bolt, and I would have had different nuts for it because all of the rest of them are 12 millimeter, and so But what the heck, I got extra stock, I got the tools, might as well make custom bolts. Okay. Okay. Where's the camera? There it is. There. Yeah, looks like I got to adjust my height on my tool on that one tool, but overall, I think that is perfectly acceptable. 3 more of these, and then we can mount the vise to the table. Alright, I've got the 4 bolts made. They turned out okay. I didn't bother to clean up the hex part on them. So now I need to lay out and drill the holes in the plate 8 inches on center, and drill those, and then drill the holes, tap them to mount the vise, and that should be it. Figured I would try out my layout scribing tool that I bought that is supposed to eliminate the need for you to use your calipers for marking. So let's see, this plate should be 1 inch from each end, so I'm going to set this for 1 inch. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mark and then after I mark, I'm going to pull that up a little bit. I'm going to verify that they're 8 inches on center. Alright, I just wanted to move that scribe part, it's a carbide scribe, up a little bit so that the I had room for the plate, the roller. Alright, let's get my other calipers out and check that. Okay, that is far from right. Let's see what I got going on here. 10 inches, or close enough. 10 inches. Pardon me, I'm just having a brain fart right now. Oh, there's what's wrong. I didn't set this scribing caliper correctly. Duh. My 0 on the vernier needs to be at the 1. Alright, now that looks a little better. I'm going to double check. Yes. Alright, let's do that over again. Welcome to the next workshop where the dumbassery never stops. Alright, now let's check. Should be 8 inches on center. Perfect. Alright. That way. This way. Yep. This one. And this one. Alright, let's take this over to the drill press. I'm going to make some punch marks, and I need to drill 5/8 inch holes through this. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm set up on the drill press over here. I've got a 1/4 inch pilot drill bit in because the web on the 5/8 inch drill is pretty good size, so I want to do a pilot. Got it all lined up, clamped down, got the punch marks in. Now I'm just going to apply some good old anchor lube, and let's drill these holes. I've lined up the drill bit with the hole in the plate here so that hopefully I don't drill a hole through my drill press. Slow this down now. Let's take a loop. Alright, now the holes need to be deburred. Use my favorite deburring countersinking tool. Alright, I'm going to take some fine tuning here. Okay, I've got the holes drilled and tapped. The vise is mounted to the plate now. I used some Loctite on it, so you can see it's on here now. So the last remaining step is to grind off the bottoms of these bolts. And we're done. So, yep, I'm going to go grind these off and be right back. Okay, bolts are ground off. And I think I'm going to put this over on this corner for right now. It is a little heavy, but I'd rather have heavy than bends or comes apart on me. If I was going to go buy steel to do this, I think I would go with a 1/2-inch plate. But because I got such a deal on this 3/4-inch plate, that's what I've got. Alright, I do need to make some more nuts. And of course, these are the nuts that came with the welding table and the fixtures. But I've got an idea for a different style I want that is a little easier to use with my hands and gloves. But for now, we'll just snug these up. And there we go. One easily movable vise, and I can turn it to any angle I want, or when I'm done with when I don't want to have it on the table, I can take it off and store it in the cabinet down below along with the other big tools. So another little project done. Very happy with that. Makes my vise usable again. Alright, well thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe button. I could really use the help in the subscriber and watch time department. So thanks a lot and take care.